All right, everybody, I got my son Gabriel here, and Gabriel flew down from Virginia Beach just to help me with the greenhouse. I'm kidding, that is not why Gabriel is here. But while he was here, I put him to work and got a little bit of use out of him. The other morning we got out here and we did the back wall of the greenhouse, putting the plastic up. We learned some lessons. It's sun's going down the next day and we're gonna have rain coming in tonight. We had planned on doing this tomorrow morning before the sun come up. We're gonna jump out here and try to put this other wall up, and maybe it'll go a little bit faster than it did yesterday. The end walls come, and you see Michelle's holding the box. The end walls for this kit come separate in a box. You don't have to roll out the entire kit and cut the end walls off like the instructions had said in the video that I'd watched. So I am so thankful that those end walls come already boxed up by themselves. We'll just spread them out, roll it out, find center. We will go up top and we'll put a wiggle wire across the top. We'll come down. Then we'll attach the bottom to kind of keep the wind from blowing stuff around. And then we're going to go back up top and start pulling and tightening and putting wiggle wire around. And we'll come back to the bottom and then we'll pull the bottom tight and then put the wiggle wire in. That's the plan. We'll see if that's the way it goes. You ready to get started?
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
All right, that's not the ideal way of doing it per the instructions. That's the way that works for us. The instructions were put the end walls up first, then put the canopy over the top. But you gotta do what you gotta do when the help is available. And today we finished it. It's now the 3rd week of May. We started this project back in February, putting the posts in the ground. It's been a month since I've done anything to it, and I am glad to get this done. The next thing we're gonna do is get the shade cloth on, put some irrigation in, and then get to gardening in this thing. Now that we've got the plastic over and on the ends, the next thing is, it's getting hot out. It's supposed to be 94 degrees today. We're gonna go ahead and pull this shade cloth across. I've got the shade cloth there. We gotta roll it out. I'm gonna tie a piece of conduit into the end of the shade cloth. We've got a string pulled to the other side, and then we're going to toss over the string and then pull the shade cloth across. Very simple. It doesn't take much explanation, but let's go ahead and get this thing rolled out and get it up and over. Now that we have the rest of our greenhouse built, one of the very last things we're going to do in this build is address the roll-up sides. As you can see, before I actually talk about the actual roll-up sides themselves, we put wiggle wire track all the way down the edge. So right here where our board is at, we stopped the track, we picked up here, we screwed it, and then we brought our end wall plastic over and we put our wiggle wall track in there. As we come closer to winter, we want more of a seal to hold the heat in during those cold, chilly nights. Now, when we're actually putting together the roll-up sides, it comes with the roll-up side pole, which is swaged on one end. There's a hole that will receive a bolt, and then your actual roll-up sides have a hole. And I know you can't see right here, but it just slides in there. You put the bolt through the hole. It's just as simple as that. Now, it comes with a little 1/2-inch piece of conduit here. It's going to go down in here. And this is just going to kind of keep this whole rig stabilized. And when you're winding it up, it keeps this piece from flipping around and unwinding as you're trying to wind it up. You can put a stake in the ground. You can drive this end in the ground. I found out that, just for practice purposes, if I just hold it, it will do the job. Now, there's a couple of things to note when you're doing the end walls. One, after you get all the bars put together, all the pipe put together, and you get the actual mechanism put on to do the roll up, you have these bag of clips. These plastic clips will clip your side walls onto the metal. Now you want it to where when you roll it, it rolls inward and under so that when it rains, it flows right off and it doesn't get caught up in behind this pole here. You don't want to trap water. You want to roll it in the other direction so that it rolls, that sheds water. So every few feet we go through and we put these metal clips. I actually did this roll-up side several months ago, and so this has kind of been out here in the weather for several months. I unrolled it, and one of the things I discovered during one of the times I unrolled it is every one of these plastic clips ended up breaking off, and I had to go back in and get extras and then put back on. And I think there's some kind of UV thing there. So be aware, and you may want to look for a different solution of some better clamps than the ones that it comes with. Out of this entire build kit, this is the only thing that I question is these clips. So go ahead and have your mind wrapped around of getting some other clips to put on your bar. You're going to need it. So we get our pole and we pull the pole out and we clamp the plastic on. So we pull the plastic underneath the pole, lay it right directly on top, put a clamp. And then we go down every couple of feet and we make sure that the plastic is on top of the pole and we put a clamp. That way our plastic is consistent all the way down. So when we start to do our roll-ups, we're going to roll it this way, like I was telling you earlier. We'll get it going. Now we see that it's wanting to start to lift off all the way down our greenhouse evenly, so you know that we've got it right. We're going to end up driving this in the ground or putting a stake in the ground and putting this over it. But this needs to move at the top, so as you're going up and over the curve, this can go with the curve and the mechanism. If this was drove in the ground straight up and down and it wasn't able to move, you could only go up so far and it would go away from the greenhouse. And you don't want, or your high tunnel, you don't want that. You want this to be able to wiggle and move as it guides the roller up. So as you're rolling it, just monitor all the way down. Make sure you don't get caught caught on the bottom of this wiggle wire track here, and you're just trying to bind, you end up putting a hole in your plastic film. You just give it a little quick wobble, and that way it unsticks down there. Okay, then we can just start cranking it all the way up. Because of where we live, we have to deal with a lot of really hot summers. And I may have mentioned this in a previous video. I don't know if I did or not, but we put our hip boards all the way up here at 5 foot to let out the maximum amount of air as we could. And we don't want that heat building up in there. The majority of our growing season is a hot season. Now, one of the upgrades that we're already planning to do is we're going to get automatic rollers. I don't know if it's an option with the company that I bought the kit from. I don't think it is. They sell an aftermarket roller that runs on a thermostat, so you can set the temperature that when inside of your tunnel gets to a certain temperature, the roller size go up, it'll check the temperature, it'll go up, it'll check the temperature until it reaches the limit that you set it at. And I think that's a nice feature, and I'm looking forward to that. One more option is you can put a fan at the top and also wire the exhaust fan into a thermostat system. And all of this helps control the temperature of your growing conditions inside your high tunnel. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this series of videos. Maybe it'll help you whenever you decide to order one of these kits to put it together and assemble it, give you the confidence that you need, that you can do this on your own. You don't have to hire a construction company to do it. If you got a couple of well able-bodied people, you watch these videos, you read the manufacturer's instructions, you can do it too. All right, like, share, and subscribe if this is your first time watching and you're not already a subscriber. We'd love to have you along and follow us along as we utilize this high tunnel to help grow out our plants. We'll see you on the next one. Remember, keep growing, keep building, and always keep adventuring. Together, we're Flomaton Famous. We'll see you on the next one.